Buckle up, Buttercup, because you're about to witness some serious productivity.
How many times do the lights not come on?
10 out of 10 they come on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We'll be spending the next 6 days with Ronnie at Airstream Nuts and Bolts. But don't worry, not all of the mods we'll be making are Airstream only. There's something to learn for everyone.
Any recommendations for a setup based on the occasional weekender?
This will be a 2-part series covering as much detail as we can squeeze in. The installation of 540 amp hours of lithium batteries, an onboard Onan generator, 1,000 watts of solar, a 3-inch lift, 50 amp DC to DC charging, and all the blue parts from Victron, including the new Quattro 2 and the GX70.
Oh, is that all that's in there? Jeez. Why don't we just make these ourselves?
And a myriad of other small mods that add convenience, with a couple of fun surprises too.
What do you think that button does?
We're calling this...
Basically this dream build.
Oh, and Mark's pretty excited about his new toilet, but I'll let him explain.
I have ordered the Low Pro Dumper 320.
Is it really called a dumper?
No, I made that up. But anyway, it's low profile. It's a low profile Dometic toilet.
We could have cut this video down, but we decided the details were important, and we wanted to answer your questions along the way.
Guess what I'm telling you is you'll have to edit a lot.
Chris wants to know what's the best way of fastening the panels.
Ah, we covered that
Good.
in detail.
Okay, well, Chris.
But tell him no drill.
No drill.
No drill. Stay tuned.
Got it.
Plus, we're giving away 2 Battle Born GC2 batteries during part 2 of this series.
He said, what if
What if?
people were to guess how much the trailer was going to weigh at the end of the install, after the generator's on, the batteries are in, the solar's on, all the stuff, all the things.
Stakes are high.
We weighed the rig at the beginning. Let's weigh it at the end. The correct answers, if there is more than one, get put into a drawing, and then we pick from that.
I love it.
Hey, what do you think the tongue weight's going to weigh when we're all said and done?
This is Ronnie and his wife Tara, the creators and owners of Airstream Nuts and Bolts located in Alabama. Customers drive across the country just to have him work on their Airstream, and you'll see why.
Because I don't do anything halfway.
He not only works on Airstreams, but travels in a GT30 just like ours. And he's probably the reason we have one today.
Look at these, the couches.
I know. We'll go up in.
Okay.
The last time we were here, his new facility was just a piece of land. And he's been busy over the past year turning it into this.
Wow.
You've got a backflip in here.
I was pretty excited to see it. But at some point, it was time to get to work.
Come on, let's get the rig dumped and ready and rolled in.
The last time we were here, this was just a cleared field and an idea.
Yes.
And now, there's a structure here, concrete pad, and Ronnie waiting with a tractor.
It's incredible.
Morning.
Morning.
I like what you've done with the place.
Thanks. It's been a year.
You've done a lot in a year.
All right. I'm ready.
Ready now?
I'm ready. Let's go. I'm shadowing Tara today.
You're going to shadow Tara?
Yeah, I have a lot to learn. Later, we're doing pound cake. Nicely done, team. Wow.
Trish, you need gloves?
Nice try.
Now let's take the generator out of the crate and put it in the rack. So it's there and done.
Man, that is a beautiful thing. Tell me about the specs of the generator.
So it's propane powered. It'll be plumbed into our onboard propane system. It is rated at 2,500 watts. So with the 2,500 watts though, Onan does something that's a little different than any of the other generator manufacturers. Onan actually rates it at its continuous output. So
Wow.
not hitting Honda or anybody like that, but an EU 2200 is only rated at about 1,600 watts. It's 2,200 surge. This is 2,500 watts. 2,500 watts continuous. So when everybody's like, oh, you're going from a 2,200 watt generator to a 2,500 watt generator, you're really not. You're going from a 1,600 watt generator to a 2,500 watt generator.
Gotcha.
So this is a true 20 amps. It puts out a solid 20 all the time.
So it can run a 15,000 BTU
Air conditioner without any issues.
all night long.
And charge the batteries.
And charge the batteries. And so how long could you run the AC on the propane tanks?
This unit burns about a pound of propane an hour at load. So you're looking at 60 hours of runtime on the tongue of the trailer with your two 30-pound bottles.
And that's why we're getting it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of power, but does it compare to my 900 horsepower blender? Yes.
You got to talk about this NutriBullet, Trish.
It is, I think, 900 horsepower.
Well, if we're talking horsepower, you could almost run 3 blenders off this thing. So the great thing about this generator, why it's sitting right here, is once it's in the rack, we'll be able to see it. But everybody's always like, well, how do you maintain it? How you change the oil? How you do whatever? This back portion is opened up and everything is just right here. Your oil fill, your drain is on the bottom, so your air filter's right here. You can get in and just work on it. The little general maintenance stuff without ever having to do anything with it.
Awesome.
Sean designed the rack, basically followed the bolt pattern of the OEM spare tire carrier. So these 2 bolts actually bolt in where the spare was, the back, and then we just have to drill 2 holes in the front here for these 2 bolts.
Gotcha.
And then it carries it.
Woo! You joking? You kidding me? What's that say? Say 1,100? No.
1,025. One of the things that's gonna make this generator kind of balance itself out is we've got 2 AGM batteries in the box that weigh like 70 pounds a piece.
Yes.
So you get 140 pounds of batteries in the tongue as we speak now.
Yes.
So the generator itself weighs 111 and the rack weighs another 70 or so.
And then the batteries, they'll go further back in the trailer.
And the spare gets relocated further back, and so
we are gaining, total weight is going up by how much?
400 or 500 pounds total.
Okay, more.
To the gross vehicle weight rating.
Yeah.
You know we're giving away 2 Battle Born batteries in part 2 of this solar install series. And here's how you can enter. Visit keepyourdaydream.com/lithium and enter your best guess at what the tongue weight will be when we're all said and done. The correct answer wins. And if there's more than one, your name will be added to a drawing. Good luck, your chances are good. Now let's get to lifting.
I've recorded a lot of install videos and I've never had a hard time keeping up with somebody.
I saw this thing come in. I want to get it lifted as fast as I can.
Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna jack the trailer up. We're gonna put the jack stands under the rear axle. That frees up the front axle. We're gonna loosen the front axle, drop the front axle, put the spacers in place, get it bolted back together. Once we get that done, we'll let the trailer back down, move the jack stands to the front axle, repeat the process on the rear axle.
Gotcha.
It sounds like it's in pain. It's like, oh.
Oh my gosh, that's high.
Yeah, keep going.
We ain't there yet.
How's that tongue jack in the front?
That's the reason the tongue jack's not on a block,
Yeah.
because it can fall off a block, but it can't fall off the floor.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. That's it.
Down. So we have to go up higher than we need to because we got to drop the axle down. And it looks really high right now because we're kind of,
Yeah, tilted.
when we bring the other side up, it won't be quite that high.
Oh, we're going to the other side up. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure we are. Sure we
The
are.
whole thing's gonna float. I mean, and down,
Yes.
there she sits.
Man, there's truss balls, and then there's your wife sitting underneath an Airstream that's lifted. Okay, let's talk about lifts real quick. Because I am not convinced that every Airstream absolutely has to have one.
No, it's based on where the axles are in the trailer and how much tail hang you have. You know, our 23 probably didn't need one. We did one because we took it a lot of places.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, when you get into 27, 28, 30, I hate having to worry about my departure or approach angle. So we have to go at an angle across a hump so that you don't drag. If you just go straight on it, it drops.
Anyway, it's definitely essential for the aircrafter's kit, so we're doing it anyway, but I was going to do it 100%. Hey, while we got this tire off, and I don't want to cover too many things, but never lube bearings.
Sure.
I know we talked about that last time, but how often does an Airstream owner need to change those
100,000
out?
miles, I believe is what,
100,000.
yeah, 100,000.
How often do they need to check them?
I check mine once a season.
Okay.
And all that's involved in checking them really is you can spin the tire, obviously, if it spins real well. You can hear the brake pad in there, which is what you should hear. You're gonna need to check the brakes more often than you check the bearings, but really I'm just making sure that everything is free. And then what we can do is we can knock this cap off and we look, and it should be fairly clean inside there. There's a label in there that tells you the torque spec on that. If that label's clean and all that looks good, the bearing is sealed and all the lubrication is still inside the bearing. If there's a lot of grease outside this cap and the label looks dirty and all that, that bearing's probably leaking and can create an issue. So let me grab a screwdriver and a hammer and I'll show you. So it's all good.
Those look great.
Yeah, see the inside of the cap. Inside the cap is super clean. The label is super clean. The washer and all is clean. There's a little bit of grease right there, but that's probably where they put the keeper ring in there. So that, because it spins nice and free, and there's not a bunch of stuff inside the cap, I think we're okay.
Yep.
This is where it gets fun. NASCAR now.
Ready?
Yep. And all we're doing is loosening this side. So this side's just loose now.
Gotcha.
This is the point where we lose people.
This is the bolt where people actually come to see you instead of do it in their own garage.
Right. It's all easy till you have to get a wrench out. That's good. So the we've dropped the axle down now to put the spacer block in place. The axle used to be, this hole, this elongated hole right here, used to be right there.
Gotcha.
So the axle was bolted to the frame through this side hole. The axle also has a hole in the top here.
Okay.
So the way it works now is the lift kit itself will bolt to the frame and the axle will bolt to the bottom of the lift kit. So when I take this block and slide it in place like this, so now it will bolt to the frame, and then we've got this hole here that'll bolt the axle to the lift block.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, I'm in. There we go. Go up now. So I wanted to explain one thing about my process for doing a lift is you'll notice that we leave a tire on, always.
Always.
So I never recommend anybody taking all 4 tires off of an Airstream and having it jacked up in a precarious position. Now we use 22-ton jack stands, so we're using heavy-duty jack stands to hold it up. But if this trailer were to ever fall off of a jack stand, it would fall onto the tire, not onto the axle.
Yes.
Create a problem.
You know what I love about the lift? 3 inches is pretty dramatic, and you can't even tell by looking at it.
No, it looks proper.
Yes.
It actually looks better, and I tell you what, I think because I evaluated last time we did the lift, how it towed different. I could not notice a difference, and if there was, I would lean towards slightly better.
Yeah, I've never seen a difference in towing with the lift versus
Yeah.
non-lift. Everybody's like worried about the center of gravity and changing things. I don't think it makes sense.
No.
There's no appreciable difference.
No. And
Other than not dragging the butt. You need to come over here and wash your hands? Oh, never mind. No, you didn't get them dirty.
did you see this, Trish? Our fresh tank is bowing.
It's supposed to be flat.
Wow.
And you see how much swell we have in the...
I don't understand why any travel trailer, not just Airstream, is not designed to have water in the tank. That is kind of the idea. You have, even if you were gonna fill up the night before and go dry camping, how are you gonna get there?
Right. We need to even if you're gonna boondock, I mean, you got to carry your water with you.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. These things are self-contained.
The whole point. Oh yeah, that looks like it's handling it well.
Kind of get it back up into place. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, this feels wrong. Keep. It's a little more. Just a little bit. That's good right there. Stop. The benefit, the way it works well for us with the post lift, is the fact that the water tank is very close to the same height as the bottom of the axle now.
Yeah.
So, you know, that keeps this from getting hit by something going down the road too, because the water tank used to hang down 3 inches below the, below the axle. So now we're up. So we dropped the axle, so the water tank went up.
Yeah.
But then that allows us to be able to put this strap underneath the bottom, and we just put a U-bolt on top of the axle.
Oh, is that what you're gonna do?
And it just saddles
Okay.
there to do it.
Oh, okay.
So see how that works, Mark?
Yeah, and you're just gonna mark with the sharpie, drill your
I'm just
holes.
gonna- yep. So now we got those. So now we're gonna go punch some holes, and then
Strap it up.
well, we're gonna paint them
Oh.
because I don't do anything halfway. All right. All right. It's a just right dispenser. So acetone is like $30 a gallon now. So it's ridiculously expensive. So taking a container of acetone and pouring on a rag
Yeah.
is kind of stupid. So when you push down,
Oh, look at that. It's just the perfect amount. Or
yeah, you just
Just
put it
right.
down there like that. It's just right. And now the rag's wet with acetone, and I can,
and it preserves your acetone.
yeah, and I don't have to worry about it being wasting it for sure.
So the acetone company didn't come up with that idea. The Just Right folks did.
Yeah.
And you buy acetone separately, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah. And the acetone people don't like the just right people. They don't get along.
Exactly what it was. Okay, I'm back.
I'm saying, so see now, yeah, the straps are just kind of keeping it from coming down any further. You're always going to have some. I mean, there's a line right here. I don't know if you can see that line there.
Not really, no.
I'm sorry, get out of the way. There's a bent line right there.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
That's factory.
Okay.
That's factory to let everything kind of come in. But now look, remember we could stick our finger
Oh, yeah.
in this hole right here.
Yep.
And now that cover is flat, like it should be.
Yep.
I don't understand how lifting the rig 3 inches will help stop scraping the back bumper, but not the green box.
3 inches goes
3
like
inch.
this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Right.
It goes like this.
Yeah.
So going up 3 inches means the front goes up 3 inches and the back goes up 3 inches.
Yeah.
They both go up 3 inches.
And
Because
then-
we're going to also adjust the hitch height up
Yeah.
3 inches.
Joey asks, and I think this is a good place to start. Why have onboard generator when you have lithium and solar?
I love that question.
Okay, so thank you, Joey. Okay, then are we still going Victron?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
To run the air conditioning, you have to have a generator. You can run the air conditioning for just a little bit if you have enough lithium, but you still need a lot of sun left over at the end of the day to get you through to the next morning.
You can't put enough batteries or solar on the roof of an Airstream to make it feasible to be able to run the
I mean, unless you got a big Class A and a huge budget.
And you're right. So GC3 battery, you know, $2,300, $2,400 a piece. So if we added you're getting two. If we added the two more, we're at $4,600. The generator is $4,000.
Yeah.
So the cost of the part itself.
Yeah.
And it works, you know, like solar doesn't work at night. The generator does. You know, it'll charge the batteries at night if you need to. So there's options that it adds versatility.
Yeah.
We asked questions here on Instagram. And
You got any more though?
Oh yeah, there'll be more.
Okay.
We're eating lunch though.
About the food.
There were many questions we received about the Aircrafter's onboard generator kit, and the biggest is, where does it go? It takes the place of the spare tire near the front of the Airstream.
Well, that was easy.
And the spare tire is relocated just in front of the freshwater tank. Aircrafters supplied the relocation kit, which is not a simple install.
Step one, locate the floor joists that we're going to use.
Okay.
But a very convenient place for the spare tire when it's done. The kit requires a 3-inch lift, and we measured the lowest point before lifting, which was the freshwater tank at 8 inches. And now, both the spare tire and the generator sit at 9 inches.
Ta-da. What we'll do is we'll adjust the angle so that it's slightly hanging downhill so that we don't get any moisture coming back.
Gotcha. Trish, is there a chair over there?
Sure.
Hey, yeah.
Get you a stool or...
Perfect.
Does it have wheels?
We can make it.
Well, we saw how you behaved with the wheels.
What if we put him on top of one of
office
these
chairs.
toolboxes?
Here you go.
We'll just wheel him around.
There you go.
Thanks, babe.
Right there.
Oh, that's so much better. All right, you excited?
Day 1 is in the book.
Day 1's done. All right, recap for us.
We did the lift
Yep.
before lunch.
Yep.
We did the generator.
Yep.
Mounted
Installed
it underneath, got it all ready to tie into the trailer, and then we did the spare tire.
And the straps of
Relocation kit,
the tank.
and the freshwater tank straps.
It's a good first day.
A lot of groundwork. Day 2. So what we're gonna do is do a lot of roof work today. We're gonna kind of start in the center of the roof and work our way out to the edges. We'll do the skylights and the easy starts from micro air to the 2 air conditioning units first. And then we'll get the factory solar panels off the roof and install 1,000
Oh,
watts.
those are factory, huh?
Yeah, the 2 that are up there are factory
Gotcha.
install, so we'll take those 2 off and then we'll put 1,000 watts on top.
1,000 watts.
1,000 watts. There we go, that's the sign of solid wood stuck.
That's it, huh? So no wonder when it rains, it's so dang noisy.
Yeah,
It's like a drum.
definitely. And it's only 2 layers and they're very thin.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, that one came up pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that Sika stuff.
Sika 221.
Yeah.
I like the black on this because it's a little creamier. I guess it's a little. The white is a little more silicone-like. The black is the most malleable, I guess, as far as being able to bed this skylight down, and it will take an entire tube per light. And we're gonna get it going down and get it on there.
Well, that's cool.
But the lighting will be, I think you'll be pleased with it. It's very similar to what comes through the
Yeah.
sidelights.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be good. Yep, looks good. Some of the questions we talk about with the easy starts, and Market asked, do you need them? Because we've got the Quattro inverter and the onboard generator, and the onboard generator's plenty big enough to start an air conditioner without an easy start. It's
So
a
maybe
larger-
people need to know what really an easy start does, right? It just kind of smooths out the startup, the amount of Is it?
Right, it reduces the amount of start amps required to turn the compressor over to get the compressor started. So it does that by almost 70%. So it does reduce the amount of start amps needed. And that's beneficial to the system itself, because you don't have this big surge of electricity needed to start the compressor. A lot of times people call it the boom. It's in an air conditioner. When it starts, it's that boom, initial startup. But some other things it does is like it prevents short cycling. It prevents starting with a pressurized compressor, so there's some delay between restarts on the compressor. And then it also has some capabilities. If the voltage in an RV park drops below a certain point, it won't let your air conditioner work, or it'll turn it off, which helps prevent damage to the AC unit. The micro air will actually go on the other side of the air conditioner. There's a gap right here between the condensing coil and the side, so it will go over here.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
it'll go down.
But it'll go down.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it'll go down in there.
All right, so this really is a DIY for somebody that's looking for micro air.
If you're comfortable enough to get on the roof, it's definitely a DIY.
There we go.
It will soon be on the trophy wall. The brackets will pivot, pull off the paper.
Oh, you've got it on there? Oh, no way.
So see there, so now it's up like this, right?
Yeah.
And now all I gotta do is set it down. Like that. That side's stuck. Pick up this side, peel off the paper. Make sure she's down. And
No way.
now watch this.
You're joking me. Wow.
It's down.
What is that stuff again?
It's called VHP.
It's good.
Very high bond is what it stands for. This roof is actually aluminum.
Okay.
So because this roof is made out of aluminum, it's made out of metal, we can glue to this metal and it's okay. You don't ever need to do that to a rig that has a rubber roof or
Gotcha.
some sort of
That's what I was
plastic
thinking.
or fibered roof. Then we'll come back with the Sika 221 and we glue them down. And then what the Sika does is it's an adhesive, so it helps bond the bracket to the roof, but it also seals the VHP from the weather.
Is this a good time to chat about the fact about using OEM wire?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of people are always concerned about wire gauge in solar installs. So we're going to use the factory pre-wire on this install. There's 1,000 watts of solar up here.
Okay.
It's 8 gauge wire. And most would be like, well, 8 gauge wire can't handle 1,000 watts. Well, because we're wiring the panels in series parallel, we're basically making 5 pairs of 2. We are increasing the voltage on the roof from, say, 17 volts to 38 to 40 volts. Well, at 40 volts, we're only pushing 25 amps off the roof in. So this wire is good for 50 amps. So we're only about 50% of its rated capacity, and it's really not that long of a run to get from here to where the solar charge controller is going to be
In
mounted.
this case, it's literally directly below it.
Right.
But even the case, you're only half the capacity.
Yeah, you're only half the capacity. Now, if we were running these in just parallel, we'd be pushing 50 amps in from the roof,
Gotcha.
and therefore we're rated at 50 amps, so we would need to replace this wire. A lot of people still want to replace it because they think it decreases the amount of impedance and resistance in the wire. I have not found that to be the case. I showed you a snippet of a Victron system that had 1,000 watts and is putting out 1,066. So,
Now, a lot of people would think that's just not even possible.
Right. It's because of the higher voltage, we create more pressure on the roof. So the higher the voltage is, the more pressure we have, the less resistance the wire is going to provide as it goes into the system. That's the whole point of these MPPT charge controllers, is they can take really high voltage. So like the one we're putting in is rated for 150 volts. So technically we could just do 2 pairs of 5 instead of 5 pairs of 2 and have this whole side of the trailer as one panel and this whole side of the trailer as a panel, and it would be 20, 40, 60, 80, it'd be 100 volts.
Yeah.
You'd have 100 volts on the roof going in, and you would only have 10 amps. So you would have a whole lot more pressure, but then we start to worry about shading issues.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get greedy. We want to make sure that our pairs are close together so that if we do have a pair go down due to some shading, it doesn't affect the whole array. And then the other part with the shading is the fact now that we have 9 bus bar panels, they're a lot more tolerant of shading.
Gotcha.
There's more pathways to get through the panel. So using a 9 bus bar panel, wiring in a series parallel configuration to where we have a higher voltage on the roof means that this wire will be just fine.
I heard there's some skylights.
There is.
Ooh, they're so much more. I know they're tinted, but they like are so much more clear.
Totally clear.
Don't you feel like that?
They're big time, and I can show you some footage that I have
Yes.
that everyone else has already seen about the difference. It was just a thin layer of plastic.
Oh, really?
Yes. This
Yeah,
is
well,
like
you
an
can
actual.
hear it. Tap, tap,
Yes.
tap, 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 tap,
This
tap,
is an
tap.
actual window.
Wow.
And
this
I think
is an
it's-
actual window?
I think it's going to provide more insulation, keep things warmer or cooler.
Well, I hope so, because this place,
Yeah. Well, it's these windows.
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, this one too.
Wow.
This one
Let's
too.
see this one. Woo-wee!
You got a mod for Trish? Wow.
It's like candy.
Yep. Gonna include that.
This is really a mod for me now that I think about it. E-Trailer sent these things, but you said I needed to do it,
Yeah, the grates.
and I found them on E-Trailer.
Because the 434 stove leaves a lot to be desired on the cooking surface.
That's true.
There's a lot there. You don't have any way to really move anything off a hot eye, but still
No.
leave it
Yes.
in place. So using these actually come for a Furrion stove.
Okay.
So not this Dometic, but we just take these guys and pull them out.
Man.
1, 2, and 3. And then we've got 2 different grates. One has a single eye, and the other has your double.
Okay.
And we may have to adjust the spacing, but we'll be able to see. So Trish, you want to see how this goes together. You have to kind of go down and in like this,
Okay.
under the screw, and then back like that, so that you're in with that one.
That's crazy. This is a Furrion, but it fits the Dometic.
Almost. I'll show you in just a second what I mean when we get it. So
Okay.
now we're going to go the same way this way. I think it's this way. Here and down and back under. So it doesn't line up perfectly
Okay.
with the hole being where it needs to be.
Sure.
But yes, and now
And that still shuts.
Boom. Perfect. And it did get a little.
Hey!
Look at that. You can still turn off your propane.
Wow! Boom!
Look how easy it is from this seat.
yeah.
It feels so nice.
What's that feel like?
That's pretty good actually. Sit here and watch somebody else work.
You can get used to that, can't you?
It could be.
Hey, maybe you could just tell Trish and I like how to do the rest.
That's right. You know, maybe see one, do one, teach one.
All right, so we've got everything on the roof. We've got everything underneath. It's time to get inside.
Time to get inside.
What are you gonna do inside?
So the first thing
I mean we.
The first thing we are going to do inside is we're going to go ahead and straighten up a lot of the factory wiring. We want to get all that straightened out. We don't want to build a system on some potential problems.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through and we're going to make sure all those connections are right, make sure everything's good, so that when we start building onto that, we don't have problems.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we'll straighten out all the wiring. We'll get all that done. We'll start getting our wires prepped and ran from point A to point B. Once we get all those run, then we'll just start putting components in their location and putting it all together.
Okay, so you work in milestones. So what's the milestone for today?
The milestone for today will be to get the front little compartment done here. I'd like to get the tongue done, the umbilical for the DC-DC wired in. Get that part finished. Let's get the generator start cables out, get the generator AC wires in, start getting that front compartment tied up. I'd like to get the panel area back here where the AC panel is.
Yep.
I'd like to get that stuff pulled out, start getting that broken apart, and get that ready to go so that everything can come together tomorrow in that center section where the batteries and the inverter will live.
Gotcha. So tomorrow we'll probably turn some things on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Hopefully we'll be live tomorrow.
And then Fridays like tests and
getting all the final little projects done and making sure we got the plug ran where you want it ran and those other things. So
gotcha.
I cut this with a little hot knife because it keeps it from unraveling on the end. Done and done.
DC to DC charging. I previously had the Orion 30 amp. We're
Correct.
going to the 50.
Yeah, we're going to the 50. So you went from 360 watts to 700 watts of
Wow.
charging.
Is it more strain on an alternator?
No.
No.
We run a little bit larger wire,
Okay.
so that we've got the space. But I mean, these things are smart technology, so they only Charlie. So being smart technology, they don't pull more than is needed, and it's a
Okay.
buck boost transformer. So basically, what the buck boost transformer does is it's able to pull a little and then spin it around and spit it out the other end more.
Okay.
So it boosts the output. Another great thing about this one, and this is new, very new. These are the first two that I've even been able to get my hands on. But these actually have the ability to adjust their charge rate. So let's say we had a system that wasn't quite as beefy as yours. We could actually deregulate this guy down to where it wasn't quite as aggressive.
Are other lithium batteries, other than Battle Born, that may be less expensive, are they better? What I think that we can pull from this question is, what are the things you're looking for in a lithium battery?
You're looking for a company that's going to stand behind the product, number
Yeah.
one. A lot of these batteries are third-party manufactured out of China. And there really is no US-based or world-based support for it. In other words, it's a battery, and when the battery is done, it's done. There's no support for it, no warranty, none of that. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that make batteries that are lithium, but there's different kinds of lithium. Battle Born uses cylindrical cells, which is what they believe to be the premier version of lithium delivery. Some companies use prismatic cells, which is another form of a lithium battery. Some other construction aspects to consider is what they call the BMS, or the battery management system. So that's the circuit board inside the battery that tells the battery to charge properly, to cut off if it's outside of its safety parameters. You need to make sure that there are safety thresholds built in place that make the battery safe. Battle Born batteries are UL listed. That's another thing that you may want to consider. It's Underwriter Laboratories tested. They've been drop tested. There's certain safety features and things that are built into that battery build that may make it cost a little more, but ultimately makes it a better product.
And we didn't even tell you to wear your Battle Born shirt today when this question was coming.
That's right. Yeah.
That was actually coincidence.
A part of this episode is sponsored by Battle Born Battery. Get out there, stay out there.
We have gotten the question before when people knew we were going to do this build. They said, "Hey, Mark, there's a lot of options now when it comes to lithium. Are you going to make a change or try something different?" Let me tell you why we're not. First of all, Battle Born is who we selected many years ago, but one of the reasons that we've stayed with them is because of the support they provide to the community. One of the reasons that we appreciate Battle Born as a partner, especially as a creator that's doing these builds and sharing these experiences, is because we receive emails from people that are in the KYD community that have had an issue with a battery, and Battle Born has stood behind that customer and made it right. That's one of the things that's so important to Tricia and I, is that if we're going to make a recommendation to a product, that the company's actually just going to provide that support. And I know there's a lot of brands that provide great support in the beginning and it fades. Battle Born has just continued to be so strong in the customer service and standing behind their product. And to go out and try alternate versions now just to see if maybe we can find something cheaper or different when a company has done that great of a job standing behind their product just didn't seem like the right thing to do. So from our perspective, we know it's tested, we know it's proven, and we know that they're involved in the community, they're standing by their product. So Here we go. He's sweeping the floor.
So let's just talk briefly about layout.
Okay.
So this is how this thing is going to go together. The inverter is going to live here.
Okay.
The batteries are going to live here.
Okay.
When you open this door, your main disconnect switch will be right here.
there. Yep.
So you'll be able to disconnect and work from there.
So Trish gets that, which
This
is
is
good.
hers.
That's what she wanted. And then what's under me? Well, more big storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that stuff.
Yeah. What we need to be in there. So we're
Yeah.
going to just be in that little cubby up there, and then this space here.
Okay. Day 4, we done? Come on, I thought you're done on day 4, right?
Yeah.
That's it? No?
Not yet. This guy come out. Oh, there it is. There's the Hughes autoformer. All the DC circuits that are here in this panel here. These are all your lights, your water pump, all those things come from this DC circuit here.
Okay.
And I get asked all the time about the store use switch on the side of the wall of an Airstream and what does it do. What it does is there's a solenoid on the back side of the panel here that disconnects all of these circuits here.
Okay.
So when you use the store use switch, all you're turning power off to are the 12 volt circuits that are supplied through this panel here. Your refrigerator still works, your smoke detector still works. There's a lot of things that still work and don't get cut off. So when you're storing your trailer, if you just put it in store mode, know that there are still draws on your batteries. And if you leave it for a significant period of time, you're going to come back and your batteries are going to be dead. Hey Mark, you grab the other end of this?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Look at this.
It's a 90-pound battery.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to see a finished wall.
Doesn't that look great?
Clean.
Isn't that nice?
Ooh.
Go push that.
I'm going to push the button.
Go push the button. That's just what I was going to tell you to do.
There is still so much to cover in part 2, including what this button does.
Isn't it great?
Woo!
Isn't it great?
Good color choice, Mark.
Thank you.
Very nice. Clean.
Marty, I brought your lunch. I don't know what everybody else is gonna eat, but we're gonna eat really good.
We wanted to be as helpful as possible, but still keep things moving along. The boys use their fake batteries to dry fit the cabinet, so then Ronnie knows exactly how much wire to pull. We also want to share with you how Ronnie modifies the Victron inverter to increase the airflow when mounting it to the floor. Plus, a big question from the community is the cost, so we'll definitely chat about that too.
And I understand why. You want to know exactly what this stuff costs and what's the budget and what can you plan for the budget. So
By now, you see the kind of work Ronnie does on Airstreams, and you can get more info at airstreamnutsandbolts.com. Join us next week for the start of day 5. All the connections are made, and we get to fire this puppy up.
Give you what I promised you. Lights.
And don't forget to visit keepyourdaydream.com/lithium to enter your tongue weight guess and a chance to win these 2 lithium batteries. Good luck, and see you next Sunday.
I don't even know why I'm recording this. I'm not going to use it. You know what I mean?
Need to say something dumb, probably.
As I watch Ronnie strip wire, I'm thinking, do I need to be recording this? I mean, like, where do you draw the line?
Who knows?
I want to see some actual work. I need to see something in progress. I've come in there's been 2 unboxings so far. Here you go.
Listen, I'm the only one working around here, okay?
I love keeping those up there.
Woo-wee!
So I'm gonna get actually let me order on Amazon right now. More. I threw the snap pads on my stabilizers. Easy peasy.
Absolutely.
The 5.5 inch for the tongue jack that's round. I hope you have a secret.
There's no way. It's probably 5, and you've been telling everybody it's 5.5. Oh yeah, there's a different size.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you hear a snap?
Little snap.
A little snap.